Okay, so we have a studio to chat about here. The first thing they asked you to do is do the description field. Well, we did that in class, so hopefully that wasn't too tricky for you. The next task was to add the ability to remove cheese from our list. And they present us with two ways of going about this, and so I think we will probably not have time to do both, and so I wanted to check in with you all and see if you had a preference. Yeah, I mean, okay, I kind of guess I saw that coming, but that's all right. We'll do the first one with the check boxes. All right, cool. So we need to present a form, right? We need to make a new view, and that view is going to have a form on it, and that's going to allow you to type in, or I'm sorry, not allow you to type in. It's going to present all the cheese that's on the list, along with some check boxes, and I can pick out whichever ones I want, and then it will remove all of the selected ones from the list. That is our goal. So let's go ahead and create our form first, because we can't really get anywhere until we have that. So I'm going to switch back over to IntelliJ here, and I'm going to go ahead and make a new time leaf thing here. Did I set up my time leaf thing? Apparently I didn't. Oh, shoot. I couldn't remember if I had that set up or not, so I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to make a copy of an existing template and change it to remove. So I just copied my add template and I made a copy of my add template and renamed it to be remove, and now I'll just go ahead and mess with the form to get it to look the way that I want. So how do I get this to look the way that I want? What do I need to put inside this form to get it to work properly? This is the tricky part. So I need to start putting in checkboxes, right? All right, so input type equals checkbox. What else do I need to do? I want to make one of these for each cheese item that is on my list, correct? So how do I do that? We need an each. We need a time leaf each deal. Right? And remember that we're dealing with a hash map now, not a list. Dealing with a hash map now. And so how do I set this up? What do I need to say to make this work? Well, let's refer back to our previous example from class, and we can get some ideas, for what we can do, right? This code still looks like it should kind of work, right? All right, so let's do that. Remove. We'll put that in there. Now, how do I get it to actually display the name of the thing? Text? So we could try it. Let's try it out. Text equals, and then what do I put here? So how do I just display the name then? You're right, I just want to display the name. How do I do that? Cheese.key. All right. And a slash. All right, let's see. Let's see if this works or not. Oh, I need an input. I need a button. I need a submit button. Oh, I'm also forgetting something else. What else am I forgetting with my checkbox? Something very important with my checkbox. Eventually, I'm going to need to process this form, which means I'm going to have to look up which checkboxes are checked. How do I do that? With the name. I need a name on these checkboxes. And so the prep work talks about this a little bit. It actually says you'll want the same name attribute for each checkbox, which might be a little bit confusing, but consider what's going to ultimately happen. It's going to group all of the checked entries together and put them into a list. It talks about that more down here, into an array list. And so it's by keeping them all the same name, you know, we can use the example that's given here, name equals cheese, like so. All right, and then what do I need here for my button? Sorry, I'm gonna cheat again and look value. All right, cool, got it. All right. So here's my time leaf template, right? Before I can check to see if this works, I need to do what else? Do what now? Sure, yeah. I need to make sure there's cheeses on my list, but even before I get there, there's something else I need to do. I got to do something in the control. I got to render this template, right? I have to pass in my list of cheeses, or my hash map, rather, is the more appropriate way. So we're going to go back to the controller. We're going to put on request mapping. We can actually kind of copy a controller that we already have here a little bit, right? For the add, it's going to look kind of similar to this, maybe not exactly the same. So value instead of add will probably be remove, and method will be request method.get. So let me copy this real quick. Put that in there, and we're going to change this to say remove. Why are you mad at me? Yeah, okay. And we'll put in our method, public string. Okay, so what do I want to do in this method? There's two things I want to do. What's one of the two? I got to render the template. That's the last thing I want to do. So how do I render the template? I say return what now? Cheese/remove. All right. But before I render the template, there's another thing I need to do. Remember, the template is expecting some information from me. Wrong file. The template is expecting a hash map of cheeses called cheeses. How do I get that in? Model. I go through the model. So if I can get to the right place, model dot add. What is add attribute? I'm sorry? Oh, you're right. I forgot that part. Thank you. So I'll do that. Cheeses, plural. And the model is, yeah, got it. Okay. So now we can test this out. We can actually see if the form renders. It's not going to do anything yet. It's not going to work yet, but we can test this to see if the form renders the way we expect. Question? Oh, it does. You're right. The name and then a value. You're right. But you can see it's not mad at me, right? That it actually accepted it the way that I typed. And so the question is, well, then what does it think that I'm doing? We should. I actually think I kind of know what's going to happen. I think it will just use the name of the variable as the first parameter, so it can be a little bit of a shortcut. In other words, I think that this is equivalent to this. I think the way I had it before is the same as what I have now, but we could test it to make sure. At any rate, let's run our, let's run it. And oh, it's already running. I'll restart it and see if we can see the form. We haven't hooked up the form to anything yet. We'll do that next, but let's just see if the form looks good or not. So it'll just take a second. Okay. All right. Go to my site here, and I'm going to hit refresh. All right, so the cheese is gone. Well, that's a little, yeah. I didn't realize there's. Oh, wait a second. There's no link here. How would I put a link here? In my fragments, yeah. So not a big deal. I can type it in the address bar. But for next time, let's put a link in here, right? Let's make another link for removing. Just to make our lives a little easier next time around. Actually, I might just be able to refresh and see it now, right? Yeah, cool. Okay, so there may not be a problem here, right? Because there's nothing on our list. There is nothing on our list. So it's doing what we told it to do. Let's put some stuff on our list and see if it works appropriately. Ah, shoot. There was definitely something on my list that time, and it didn't show up. So we made a valiant effort, but it didn't quite work. So that tells me there's something up with the template, right? The question is what? How do we fix this? Does anybody know? Anybody have any ideas? Yeah, what's up? Pass another attribute into the template? For what purpose? I'm sorry? Add in the name of the, do I know what the name of the cheese is? Okay, so if I do that so if I want to add in the name of the cheese to the model attribute, right? Do I know how many of those I'm going to have? Do I know, like, there's kind of a problem here, I think, with doing it that way. Like, I don't know how many I've got necessarily. I don't know how many entries to put here, right? I'm sorry? I thought that's what we did. I mean, maybe we did it wrong, but I thought we did put the whole hash map in, and it's not currently displaying the way that we want. Yeah. Oh, I see. I see. Yep. I forgot about that. I know it only happened like a minute ago, but I forgot about that. Sorry. My fault. My bad. My bad. Let's try it, and let's see if that fixes the problem. All right. Starting up. Let's go back to the index here. Okay, no cheese, so it's successfully restarted. We'll put the thing on. All right, fine. Okay, well. Progress, right? Progress. What's wrong now? What's wrong now? Yeah. I didn't. The curly braces and stuff, yeah. Do I need the dollar sign? Curly brace. Curly brace. I don't think I have to restart it this time, right? I should just be able to... hey, there we go. All right, cool. Let's put another one on there and see. Not really cheese. All right. It's working. I think there's some formatting issues here. I should probably put in like, this is me being a little nitpicky perhaps, put in like a line break or something to make it look a little cleaner. Let's see if that looks a little nicer. Not quite what I had in mind actually. Oh, yeah, well, I could do this. No. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree right now. Oh gosh, oh no. I broke it. Back up. How do I get it to go down to the next line? Let's see. Plus, yeah, I was gonna try and do something like plus new line here, but I don't think that's gonna do it either. I don't think that's gonna work. Whoa, where did that come from? Get out of here. Sorry, I'm breaking stuff. I mean, this kind of worked. Does anybody have any ideas how to solve my problem? I could loop outside of the input tag. Yes, I could. And that might be. So basically just taking this part out of this, right? And sticking it up here. Yeah. And then I can add whatever I need to inside of the div. That's, yeah, I think that's actually a great idea. Divs are useful for, come on. IntelliJ is like really trying hard to help me out here. Yeah. Divs are a good way, well, no, it still didn't like, I still got some slashes wrong or something. Oh, I'm missing the slash here. Was that it? Yes, all right, cool. Got it. Got it. This looks better. Anyway, I was being nitpicky anyway, and it ended up costing me a lot more time than I thought it was going to, but that's all right. Let's hook it up and make it work, because we got just enough time to do that. So right now I click the button and uh-oh, nothing happens because I haven't made a handler, right? I haven't told it what to do. So let's do that. To wrap up this studio here, I need another handler for processing the form. So I'm gonna copy this request mapping. What do I need to change on this line? Post. It's going to be a post instead of a get because I'm processing the form, right? And then I can, you know, make my process remove cheese. What goes in here? We want to grab the data from the form. Request params, yeah, request param. And then, because I've got multiple checkboxes with the same name, it's going to match all the ones that I've checked and group them together as an array list. So the type here will be an array list of strings. Does that make sense why that's true? And then I give it a name, cheese. Yes. Yes. And so now I need to do what? I've got a list of cheeses that I want to remove. I got a loop. I got a loop over the list. I equals 0, I less than cheese dot size. How do I remove something from a hash map? Anybody know? I'm sorry? Well, we could Google it. Cheeses dot. Or we could just say, oh, look, there's a thing called remove. Let's do that. Where do I get the value to put in here? It wants to know what I want to remove. Close. Yes, indexing to grab the key out of the list. So not I, but cheese dot get I. And then once I'm done, so that should hopefully remove all the cheeses from the hash map. So then what do I want to do when I'm done? Yeah, just send them back. Send them back to the home page. All right. I don't know if this will work or not, but we took a stab at it. Let's, to the right? Yeah, sure. The fact that I called this cheese and the fact that I have cheese as the name of the checkbox here is important, right? Oh, you know what? Though actually, I think I might sense a mistake, but we'll see. Let's restart it. Let's restart it and see what happens. We're running a little bit short on time, but I think we got just enough time to finish this out. While that's booting up, maybe I can take a look and see. So if we look up checkboxes on W3 schools, password, submit, reset, radio, checkbox, here we go. Notice here, right, that they've got the type, they've got the name, but then they've got something that we don't have, which is the value. Yeah. Yeah. So I think, so what's going to happen now? We don't have a value, so what's going to be in our list? Nothing really, maybe empty strings perhaps, but I don't think it's going to work the way that we intended to. But let's go and try it anyway, since I already loaded it up, and see what happens. I got to add some stuff first. That's kind of the annoying part. Oh, that's whatever. Remove cheese. See, it didn't do anything. Remove cheese. Didn't do anything because we forgot to put in the value. So that's the one missing piece here. So how do I want to do that? Do I just want to say value equals such and such, or? It's got to be th value, right? Because the value that I want to use is, it's actually this, right? It's the same thing, right? All right. I only changed the template, so I think I should be able to just refresh the remove page and try to remove and see. Hey, there we go. Yeah, it worked. To really test it, though, we should add multiple cheeses and, oh, well, whatever, that's fine. And see if we can do multiple cheeses at once. Because that was sort of the whole deal with the checkboxes, right? I should be able to delete multiple cheeses at once. Yeah, works. Oh yeah, we did it. That one was a good one. That was a good one. All right, I'm out of time, but thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy your holiday. Don't come here on Monday. Stay at home, and I'll see you 1 week from today.